Does the Biden administration support the new gross royalty that's proposed in S 1742?
We support a royalty.
And again, yes or no, does the Biden administration want to see increased investment in domestic mining?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Ms. Sweeney, you're an expert, and your organization, the National Mining Association, has a really good pulse on the industry. Will a new gross royalty lead to more investment or less investment in domestic mining in America?
Less investment.
Okay.
Oh, less investment.
Mr. Haddock, I'd like to ask you the same question. Will a new gross royalty lead to more investment or less investment in domestic mining?
A royalty is a cash cost, and any cash cost is a disincentive to investment.
Yeah, so, Mr. Felges, we've just heard from two industry experts who have both definitively said that a new gross royalty will have a deleterious effect in this area and will stifle investment in domestic mining projects. Now, given the Biden administration's stated support for domestic mining of critical minerals, I'm really scratching my head here. And I start to wonder, how on earth could one justify endorsing legislation that would, as we've just heard, cripple domestic mining on federal lands by imposing new fees and royalties? I don't get it. Now, Ms. Sweeney, proponents of new mining fees and royalties will often try to justify these measures by a familiar trope. They tend to say that these measures are acceptable. In fact, they're necessary as a way to ensure that taxpayers are getting a quote-unquote fair return on mining activities that happen to occur on federal lands. But it seems to me that there won't be any fair return at all. There won't be any return if there isn't any mining, and there won't be any mining if there's not investment. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
Coal, oil, and gas, they all pay a royalty. Why would a similar royalty and framework not work for hard rock minerals?
So there's several reasons that a gross royalty approach doesn't work the same way for hard rock minerals, and it's really the market fundamentals are just vastly different. When you're out there exploring for hard rock minerals, it's very elusive. You're looking for smaller concentrations, so there is so much upfront work to be done that can take a decade. Compare that to oil and gas, coal, where you have broad areas with often known resources. Another difference is that
you know where the vein is if
you
it's
know where
coal,
the-
or you know where the oil or gas is.
Yes,
If
you know where the basin is, where the oil might be, or there's a lot of information, government information even, about where the coal resources are. We don't have the same information for hard rock minerals. Another difference is the period between exploration and extraction is usually much longer, so there's a lot greater risk, right, that the project could become economic before you get to that production stage. And then there's significantly more processing required on the hard rock mining side before you get to a saleable product. And then I think another important distinction is there is no pass-through of costs, including for royalty, for hard rock mining in the same way that there is for oil and gas and coal. So I think those are some of the important distinctions.
Okay. Now, Mr. Haddock, under S 1742, an exploration permit would be required for all mineral exploration on federal land, eliminating the need for, or eliminating the possibility of the current existence of notice-level exploration. Notice-level exploration, of course, requires operators to submit a notice of intent for activities causing more than just a minimal surface disturbance, but not quite extensive enough to necessitate a full plan of operations, ensuring environmental considerations are addressed. So notice-level exploration strikes a balance between allowing for reasonable exploration activities on the one hand and protecting the environment on the other. Could you describe the importance of grassroots mineral exploration and how, for example, a new permit requirement might impact the exploration process?
That notice level activity is really the most fundamental kind of testing exercise in exploration. When a geologist develops a concept, he needs to go out and he needs to test it. And notice level activity, as you say, balances the environmental protections because you have to avoid cultural resources. There are a bunch of rules you have to follow, you have to reclaim, but it allows you to go out and get, for the first time, real data. And it needs to be done over and over and over and over again before you actually get to a real prospect where you have notice level, or where you actually have to go and file a plan of operations. If you can't do that and you start adding transactional expense in the neighborhood of $100,000 or $200,000, which is what you do for a full-blown exploration plan, it's just going to stifle grassroots exploration.
And I'm reading it correctly to get rid of notice level exploration.
Yeah.
Thank you.